5 workers have been injured, one so badly he may lose sight in one eye in a wild riot at Cleveland Youth Detention Centre. Police have described the 14-hour standoff as extremely violent and disgusting after 25 inmates hurled pieces of timber and metal at officers.
Out-of-control kids were armed and angry. At 5:30 yesterday afternoon, around a dozen inmates climbed onto the roof of the detention centre for a protest. They were drumming on the building with metal and timber panels believed to have been taken from a construction site at the centre.
Timber, pieces of metal that they had ultimately torn from various buildings and other infrastructure in the site, some of which was taken from the most obscure locations.
The inmates threw rocks and other projectiles at staff. One man had surgery this afternoon after he was hit in the eye. It's believed he may lose his sight. Workers were then forced to lock themselves inside the building as they waited for police to arrive. Just after 6:30, more than 60 police officers were on scene, armed with riot shields. By then, 25 inmates were on the roof.
They've been arming themselves with various projectiles, holding police at bay.
As the night went on, police started to negotiate. The youths were demanding drugs, alcohol, fast food and video games.
We would say that they are very erratic in what they're asking for.
For hours, they ran wild around the detention centre. Locals watched on, stunned.
I think that kids need to be punished because if they don't get punished, they're not going to learn. I think it's just stupid that they just get away with it.
When the sun rose this morning, there were still 8 inmates who had refused to cooperate with police. Around 7 a.m, they finally gave in.
Their behaviour was completely abhorrent and disgusting, and any sensible thinking person should be affronted.
Police will continue to investigate and charge the kids involved. Lauren Cooney, 7 News.
A former worker at the detention centre says there needs to be a management overhaul before a life is lost. Attorney General Yvette Duff has launched an investigation and has called for calm.
Vision of the riots is extremely confronting.
Obviously, I'm very concerned about the events that have happened overnight.
Oh, look, there is absolutely no question that there is a youth justice crisis going on in Queensland at the moment.
Just 3 months ago, there were similar scenes. In 2014, 6 teens were charged after climbing onto the roof.
Part of the investigation will, of course, look at what lessons can be learnt to deal with a situation like this in the future or to stop it happening in the first place.
$3 million has recently been spent on the centre to prevent inmates from doing exactly what they did overnight.
It is extraordinary how these youth have got on to this roof.
The executive director of the centre says staff are trained extensively to deal with violence.
The staff all undertake protective actions training at the centre here, and they're trained very well in how to respond to individual instances.
But a former employee says it's not enough and a restructure of management is needed.
You know, you've got staff who are being threatened by young people in the centre. You have a management team there that are incompetent. They've proved they're incompetent.
It's a really difficult environment and it's a very violent environment, and you're just expected to do the best you can with limited tools. It's a tough job.
Attorney General Yvette Duff has attempted to put the community at ease after a long list of violent incidents involving youth across Townsville.
This isn't a situation where the youth from Townsville are coming in here and then causing greater concerns. They are 2 separate incidents.
It's unknown how long the investigation will take, with concerns the state government isn't acting quickly enough.
They were that afraid of their lives they had to lock themselves in. Now somebody's going to get killed if we don't do something about it.
Amelia Adam, 7 News.